Robert Plant was born in 1948 in West Bromwich, England. From a young age, he was drawn to music. Unlike many kids his age, Plant wasn't dreaming of football or a regular career. He wanted to sing. His influences came from the blues, rock and roll, and folk music. He admired singers like Elvis Presley, Muddy Waters, and Robert Johnson. By his teenage years, Plant was already performing in small clubs, showing off his powerful voice and unique style. His love for music wasn't just a hobby. Plant would walk away from traditional education and steady jobs, chasing his dream of becoming a full-time singer. He sang in different local bands, always searching for the right sound and the right people to create something magical with. At that time, the British music scene was exploding, with bands like the Rolling Stones and the Beatles taking over. But Plant wanted his own voice to stand out, something wild, untamed, and unforgettable. In 1968, Plant's life changed forever. Guitarist Jimmy Page was forming a new band after the breakup of the Yardbirds. He was searching for the perfect singer. When Page heard Robert Plant perform, he knew he had found his man. Plant had a soaring, powerful voice that could cut through any wall of sound. At first, Plant was unsure. He had been through bands before, and none of them had lasted. But Page was convinced this was different. Together they teamed up with bassist John Paul Jones and drummer John Bonham, who happened to be Plant's friend. The chemistry was instant. When they played together for the first time, it felt electric. Something bigger than themselves was happening. The band needed a name. After a joke from The Who's Keith Moon, they decided to call themselves Led Zeppelin. Plant stepped into a role that would change music history. From that moment, the young singer from West Bromwich was no longer just chasing dreams. He was about to lead one of the greatest rock bands of all time. Robert Plant's voice became the defining sound of Led Zeppelin. His high-pitched wails and soulful delivery were unlike anything people had ever heard. Songs like Communication Breakdown and Dazed and Confused showed his raw power, while Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You revealed his softer, emotional side. On stage, Plant wasn't just a singer, he was a force of nature. With his long golden hair, open shirts, and wild movements, he looked like a rock god. Fans were mesmerized not only by his voice, but also by his stage presence. He gave everything to every performance, leaving the audience in awe. But Plant wasn't only about power. He brought poetry to Zeppelin's music. Inspired by mythology, literature, and personal experiences, his lyrics often told mysterious stories. Songs like Ramble On and Immigrant Song carried a sense of adventure and fantasy that matched the band's thunderous sound. By the early 70s, Plant was no longer just a singer. He was the face and voice of a generation that wanted freedom, rebellion, and something beyond the ordinary. Led Zeppelin quickly rose to become the biggest rock band in the world. With albums like Led Zeppelin IV, the group reached legendary status. Plant's voice soared in songs like Stairway to Heaven, which became the band's most famous track. It wasn't just music, it was an anthem. The early 70s were a golden time for Plant. He toured the world, performing in front of massive crowds. Each night his voice electrified arenas and stadiums. Fans screamed his name, and he became one of the most admired frontmen in rock history. But with fame came challenges. The non-stop touring was exhausting, and Plant often felt the pressure of being a rock star. Still, he pushed forward, always giving his all to the music. His bond with Jimmy Page grew stronger, and together they created some of the most powerful rock songs ever recorded. For Plant, these years were both thrilling and overwhelming. He was living the dream, but he also knew that life in a band like Zeppelin could never stay simple. Behind the glory, Robert Plant faced personal battles. In 1975, tragedy struck when he and his family were involved in a serious car accident while on holiday in Greece. Plant was badly injured with broken bones that left him unable to walk for months. During this time, he doubted if he would ever perform again. Despite the pain, Plant didn't give up. He recorded vocals for Presence while sitting in a wheelchair, showing his unbreakable dedication to music. But the troubles didn't end there. In 1977, his young son, Karak, suddenly passed away from a stomach illness. The loss devastated Plant. For a time, he considered leaving music forever. These years showed the human side of the rock star. Behind the powerful voice was a man facing heartbreak and loss. Yet even in grief, Plant poured his emotions into the music. Songs like All My Love carried deep personal meaning as he tried to heal this. Rough his art. Plant's struggles reminded fans that even rock gods could face pain, and it only made them love him more. By the late 70s, Led Zeppelin was struggling. The band was still huge, but the lifestyle of constant touring, pressure, and personal tragedies weighed heavily on them. Then in 1980, the unthinkable happened. John Bonham, Plant's close friend and the band's drummer, died after a night of heavy drinking. For Plant, Bonham's death was more than losing a bandmate. It was losing a brother. He was devastated and knew instantly that Led Zeppelin could not go on. Without Bonham, the magic was gone. Later that year, the band officially announced their breakup. Fans were heartbroken, but Plant felt it was the right decision. He couldn't imagine standing on stage without Bonham behind him. It was the end of an era. Robert Plant had been the voice of one of the greatest rock bands in history, but now he had to face life after Led Zeppelin. Many wondered if he could ever escape the shadow of the band that made him famous. After Led Zeppelin ended, Robert Plant decided to continue making music on his own terms. In 1982, he released his first solo album, Pictures at 11. Fans were curious. Could Plant succeed without Zeppelin? The answer was yes. The album received positive reviews, and Plant proved that his voice was still powerful and unique. His solo career wasn't about recreating Zeppelin. Plant explored new sounds, blending rock, blues, and even hints of pop. Over the years, albums like Now and Zen and Fate of Nations showed his willingness to take risks and evolve as an artist. While some fans only wanted Zeppelin, Plant refused to live in the past. He wanted to move forward, discovering new styles and working with different musicians. This independence kept him fresh and respected in the music world. Plant's solo journey showed that he was more than just the singer of a famous band. He was an artist determined to keep growing, no matter the challenges. In the 1990s, fans got a surprise they had long hoped for. Robert Plant reunited with Jimmy Page. The project, called Page and Plant, wasn't a full Led Zeppelin reunion, but it gave fans a taste of the magic they once shared. The duo released the album No Quarter in 1994, which featured new versions of classic Zeppelin songs alongside fresh material. Their live performances drew massive crowds, reminding everyone of the power they had together. Plant, however, was careful not to let it become a nostalgia act. He wanted to honor the past while still creating something new. His partnership with Page lasted a few years, and although it eventually ended, it proved that their bond was unbreakable. The Page-Plant era showed that while Zeppelin was gone, its spirit still lived on through its members. For Plant, it was a way to reconnect with the music that made him legendary, without losing his artistic freedom. As the years went on, Robert Plant kept surprising people. Instead of sticking to classic rock, he explored folk, world music, and Americana. In 2007, he released Raising Sand, a collaboration with country singer Alison Krauss. The album became a huge success, winning multiple Grammy Awards, including Album of the Year. This project revealed a different side of Plant. His voice, once famous for its wild power, now carried warmth, subtlety, and soul. Fans and critics praised his ability to adapt and reinvent himself. Plant proved that even decades into his career, he could still break new ground. Unlike many rock stars of his generation, Plant never became stuck in the past. He embraced change, always searching for new ways to express himself. Whether performing Zeppelin classics or brand new material, he remained authentic and passionate about music. Today, Robert Plant stands as one of the greatest singers in rock history. From the roaring voice of Led Zeppelin to his adventurous solo career, he has inspired countless musicians. His journey has been filled with triumph, tragedy, reinvention, and resilience. Plant has never stopped moving forward. Even in his later years, he continues to perform, record, and explore new sounds. Unlike many of his peers, he doesn't rely solely on past glory. He builds new chapters in his story. For fans, Robert Plant is more than just a rock singer. He is a symbol of passion, freedom, and the power of music to survive through time. His voice, once called the sound of the gods, still echoes across generations. From West Bromwich to the world stage, Plant's legacy is eternal. He is not only the voice of Led Zeppelin, he is the voice of rock itself.